College football week 6 is upon us, and it's a blackout tonight in the Carter. Fort Worth is the site for the third meeting between the Colorado Buffaloes and your TCU Horned Frogs. Head coach Sonny Dykes, in his 4th season leading the Frogs, lines it up against Deion Primetime Sanders, who is in his 3rd season with the Buffaloes. The last time the two teams met was when Sanders came into Fort Worth and handed the Frogs a 45-42 loss. In the two meetings, the teams have both knocked off each other on the road. Dykes, in his first year, defeated CU in Boulder 38-13 en route to their national championship appearance in 2022.
Let's turn the page. Coach Sonny Dykes. I'm a fan. Hope I'm a friend. I admire the heck out of him. Reside in Canton, Texas, so when he first got there to SMU, I was well aware of who he was well before, and I was just proud of the attack on changing the narrative for SMU at the time. And he did a phenomenal job, and I followed his journey. And as you know, it was our first game in college football against them at TCU. So, and I happened to run into them at Papados, he and his staff, I think last year in the off season or the year before, whether. But I got the utmost respect, love what he's accomplished in this game, and I am a fan. I had no idea that he played baseball, at Texas Tech. From the first baseman from 88-93, that's unbelievable.
Lots of respect from both coaches heading into tonight's game. Welcome back to your Frogs Today football pregame show presented by Texit Coin. It's a blackout in the Carter, and we are joining in as well, if you can't tell, with our new black tablecloth and some new microphones as well. We're snazzing it up for you guys. I'm Jules Conti, joined alongside Faith Lester, and these games are always exciting, but with the Frogs coming off a loss on the road to number 25 Arizona State last Friday, this one will just mean a little bit more.
Thanks, Jules, and glad to be back in the Carter. Colorado is coming off a loss as well to number 23 BYU at 2-3 overall. This one means a lot to the Buffaloes as well. Neither team can afford a loss if the Big 12 championship game is a true reality.
The Frogs are 3-1 and have had little problem scoring this season, with 35 or more in the first 3 games. And even last game stormed out to a 17-point lead and narrowly missed out, going up 21-0. But the Sun Devils answered in the second half, evening the game and pulling ahead for good with a late game field goal, handing the Frogs their first loss on the season.
Quarterback Josh Hoover was under a ton of pressure, going 20 for 32 and 242 yards, but was sacked 6 times and threw 2 interceptions. This was only the 4th time in 23 starts that Hoover hasn't thrown a touchdown pass, but he did rush for one, the 7th of his career.
The offense struggled for sure last week, but to note, running back Trent Battles scored his 3rd score of the season, a career high. Also to note, an offensive wide receiver, Joseph Manjack, caught a pass for the 31st consecutive game of his career. Dating back to his time at Houston, this is the 6th longest active streak in the nation.
The defense performed pretty well, led by linebacker Caleb Alomzor, with 13 tackles, a season high for the Frogs. Elarmzor had two sacks, adding to the team's 4 total sacks, matching their season high against ACU, 2nd game of the season. Looking for safeties, Bud Clark and Jamel Johnson to continue to have a solid game in the secondary.
The Frogs will have to get back to winning the battle up front, running the ball and protecting Hoover, and continuing with their high-tempo offense that we've seen can score them a ton of points. We got to win the turnover battle and remain consistent defensively. More on scouting the Buffaloes later in the show.
The Frogs on national stage again. In the booth for Fox is Connor Onion and Robert Griffin III. And on the sideline is Alexa Landestoy. And someone told us you'll be shadowing her this game. Are you excited?
I cannot wait. What a dream come true to be able to follow someone who is in a position we both want to be in a few years, working professionally, especially following our Horned Frogs around as well. How exciting is that? But truly a dream come true. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to be following her around today. And I'll make sure to update you guys afterwards as well when we come back for our post-game show.
Well, we will be sure to get lots of pictures of you down there tonight. After a word from our sponsor, Texit Coin, Jules will have our regular guest, athletic director Mike Buddie, and later we have men's basketball coach Jamie Dixon.
Keeping score of your finances but missed the Bitcoin wagon? There's a second chance called Texit Coin. Score big at texitcoin.org.
Welcome back into your Frogs Today football pregame show. I am now joined once again by athletic director Mike Buddie. Mike, we got to start with last weekend against Arizona. It was our first conference matchup, not only our first conference loss, but our first season loss. Have you talked to Sonny or any of the players since? What is the morale bouncing back going into today's game, another conference matchup, but home in the Carter?
Well, yes, I've certainly have talked to Coach Dykes and some of the players. The morale's great. I mean, they know that it's a long season. You got 12 regular season games. It's extremely unlikely that somebody in the Big 12 is going to go undefeated. And to be honest with you, Tempe's a really tough place to play. They almost won a college football playoff game last year. So we knew it was going to be tough. We got off to a great start, which makes it sting a little bit more that we were in a position to potentially win the game. But as far as morale goes, these guys are really excited to get the opportunity to play Colorado, who, we didn't fare well against the last time either. And Coach Sanders and the boys are here, and we feel like there's certainly plenty of motivation to be ready to play today.
We talk about it all the time. The Big 12 is one of the most competitive conferences in all sports, but especially basketball, men's basketball to be specific. Later on in the show, we have head coach of the men's basketball team, Jamie Dixon, joining us. But for him coming out here and supporting this team, what does it mean to have all of our athletic programs kind of coming together to support each other in their off seasons?
Yeah, our head coaches are phenomenally supportive of each other. And to be honest with you, if you're not a college coach, it's really hard to find people who can relate to what that lifestyle is like. And so they support each other extremely well. And you're right, the Big 12, I think, is the strongest conference in college basketball. Coach Dixon really excited after a scrimmage last night. I think he saw a lot of great things from some of our new players. And so we're really excited. And we know Mark Campbell's going to have the women's team ready to hopefully expand on their Elite Eight run from last year.
And that's creeping up in no time. The men's basketball team have their first home opener on November 3rd. So only a month away already. Basketball season crawling up. But sticking with the realm of talking about all TCU athletics, baseball is where I want to hit next. And before I get to TCU baseball, I want to talk about the Yankees. I'm a Yankees fan too, coming from New Jersey, but as a World Series pitcher for the Yankees, and they just beat the Red Sox in a 3-game series. Moving on, they're playing the Blue Jays right now. Watching their postseason, what are you predicting? How do you think they're looking so far?
Well, I'll tell you, the Red Sox-Yankee series almost felt like a World Series. It was 3 really great competitive games. And, Jules, I know you're a Yankee fan, but you got to keep in mind, I also played for the Milwaukee Brewers, who, by the way, are extremely loaded this year as well. So, Yankees, Blue Jays are going to be a great series. Don't ever count the Yankees out. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. So, yeah, I mean, baseball's near and dear to my heart, but I also have a love in my heart for the folks from Milwaukee, and they've got a pretty strong team this year as well.
So we'll see where it rounds up. You guys all know where I stand. We're working on this one a little bit as well. But going to TCU baseball now, of course, we have to talk about our Horned Frogs. Fall ball is starting for them as well. And the rules are changing. They now have 20-hour weeks. They're doing some fall scrimmages as well. But what do you think about your sport kind of getting into action already as well?
Well, you know what I love coming from a school in the Northeast in the state of New York, it's really hard to have functional practices in October, November. And so to enjoy the weather here in Fort Worth, Coach Sarlos has been studying those new rules to make sure that we can maximize the impact that we can make. We have a lot of young players. We have a lot of freshmen who are now sophomores who we're hoping can make that big step and put us back in Omaha. And I think we have that caliber of team. And so it's a great time of year when we've got football in full swing, our fall sports, volleyball and soccer both still ranked very high. But baseball, you start hearing the ping of the bats and you hear the basketballs bouncing in the gym. And so it's a really exciting time to be at TCU.
Definitely. And all of our athletics kind of getting underway. They're all performing to the best of their ability right now. It's been so exciting to watch. Frogs Today has been on location for every single athletic event you can think of here at TCU. So if you don't, make sure you're following along with us as well. I'm sure it's a busy time for you with everything getting going, but thank you so much for always taking the time to join us today.
I enjoy it. Thanks, Jules. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs. And after this break, we're going to hear from head coach Sonny Dykes on his thoughts on the Buffaloes on his State of the Frogs coaches show right here on Frogs Today.
It's really playing good football. Lost to BYU in a really hard-fought, close football game last week. They've lost, 3 football games, 2 of them to top 25 teams, and in both those games they had opportunities to win the game down the stretch. And so they've been very competitive. It's a team that's got a lot of talent. Guys are playing hard, great team speed. a lot of big play receivers and guys that can make plays on both sides of the ball. Got a quarterback that can run around. There'll be 3 weeks in a row now. 3 weeks in a row now that we've played a mobile quarterback and a guy that is involved in the run game and can make plays in the run game. And so that'll be a big challenge for us. But good football team, and a team that, like I said, I think has a lot of confidence right now. Every week in the Big 12 is going to be challenging. As I said, this is a team that could have very easily beaten 2 top 25 teams. And so it's a good football team, and we're going to have to play at a really high level to have a chance to win.
There you heard it from head coach Sonny Dykes. The Big 12 currently has 4 teams ranked in the top 25. Texas Tech leading the league at number 11, followed by Iowa State at 14, BYU at 23, and Arizona State at 25. So this matchup is critical for both teams searching for their first Big 12 win. The Frogs will have to deal with quarterback Caden Salter, a local kid from Cedar Hill, and the Buffaloes create their running game around him. He can definitely make plays with his feet, so we will see a lot of play action from Colorado. Salter is one of the nation's leaders in touchdowns since the start of the 2023 season with 75.
Colorado on defense is solid up front with strong pass rushing ends and linebackers with a ton of speed and athleticism. 10 of the starting defense are transfers, so a totally different look this season. They have come into form, slowing teams down the last 2 games with a 37-20 win over Wyoming and a narrow 24-21 loss to BYU last week.
As an NFL Hall of Fame defensive back, primetime Deion Sanders made a career out of his ability to shut down the top receivers in the game. And he expects the same from his defensive backs, especially when up against such a potent Horned Frog offense. Here is Sanders when asked about matching up with TCU and what he expects of his defensive backs. We will have men's basketball head coach Jamie Dixon on the other side of this sound.
Play ball. Play ball, everybody in the country going to know you. Not for the right reason. We challenge our guys every week to play the game play by play. Forget the last play, let's go to the next play. That's the life and the thought process and the mindset of a good cornerback. But let me tell you something about good DBs. And I want everybody out there listening to this. This is coming from him. A great DB is only 95%. Let me say this differently. 95% of defensive backs play not to get beat. 5% play to make a play. I'm looking for that 5.
You heard it. That was Deion Sanders on how he's going to deal with TCU's offense tonight. Well, now I am joined by head coach of our men's basketball team, Jamie Dixon, and they had their purple and white scrimmage last night in the Schulmeyer Arena. Can you just talk about last night for me?
Yeah, kind of short notice. We got it out there, wanted to get the players playing in front of some people, and I always think that's another good indicator, something how they play and when the lights come on or people are watching. So it was good. We had a good little Frog Army turnout, and we had a lot of young kids. We did autographs afterwards. So I liked what we did offensively. Defensively, not as good, but they were playing a lot of minutes. So fatigue came in, and 68-66 in a 24-minute scrimmage. So that's about
pretty intense.
113, 110 if you put over 40 minutes. So a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. But I like the pace at which we played.
I want to talk about 2 players in specific from last night.
Yeah.
That's freshman Caleb Edwards and transfer Tanner Toulson, who are big from 3 last night.
Yeah, well, there, no surprises really. I mean, Tanner was a guy that a lot of people were looking at. He can put the ball in the basket. He's kind of a guy that can drive it. He got some offensive rebounds. So those are things kind of we saw improving his 3-point shooting, which we thought he was good. But we thought there could be some improvement in that, and I think that's what he's done. So now he's kind of scoring at all 3 levels. He's a physical kid. He's an older kid. He's got great energy, plays a lot of passion, and so excited about that. And then, Bug, as we call him, or Caden Edwards, as they call him. I hate to call him Bug, but that's his nickname. And he's a guy that was State Player of the Year at the state of Texas. Won a championship, probably one of the best teams in the country last year at Duncanville. So we've had great success and guys from that program. And it's a guy that can shoot it. He plays with great pace. Everybody talking about the 3-point shooting, but I like how hard he plays, how much he runs the floor. He got his baskets really by knocking it down. Yeah, but his movement, his pace and getting out in transition. his movement without the ball. He plays with a great energy, and he defends pretty well for a freshman. So unique. He's no secret. He was a top 50, 60 player. So I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be a good player. But he's put on 10 pounds. He's gotten stronger. Continuing to do that. Loves to be in the gym, as do all of our guys. I mean, it's good to see how much we're in the gym, and you just continue to get better that way.
And Frogs today was there on location. It was exciting to see a lot of these guys kind of step out onto the court for the first time, players that obviously TCU fans haven't gotten to see before. So I want to talk about your schedule moving into this year, being able to see some of these guys work. You have an exhibition match coming up against Tarleton, and then you see Michigan twice, home and away. You see the defending national championship, Florida, and in an invitational, Notre Dame. Big 12 play starts with Baylor in January. Can you just talk about the competition?
Yeah, I think and you depend on which ranking you look at. It could be that we're playing the top 5 teams in the country. We're going to be playing, and you throw Florida in there. If you talk about obviously Houston, BYU, Arizona, and some places have them in the top 5. In the non-conference, Michigan, we played at their place last year as part of that home and away, and then we got Michigan here at our place. So Wisconsin and Providence are in that tournament in San Diego, in which we open with Florida. Yeah. So, I mean, we've always been in the best basketball conference. I mean, this is what the Big 12 has become. It's a men's basketball conference. The best teams are in this conference. It's been that way for about every year I've been here. So, so it's good to see. We got some non-conference games because of how the scheduling is changing, and you don't play everybody twice in the Big 12. You kind of got to adapt, and we did adapt with what we're doing in the non-conference. And then the MTEs aren't as an automatic now, so you can get a little bit more flexibility. And looking forward to it. Notre Dame will have in our place, but we go to their place next year. So looking to do that, and we can do that. It's hard to do. Take some patience, take some courage, but to get these teams to come to your place, go to their place, it's not happening a lot in basketball because of our league so tough. But you can't the schedule, best basketball. I like our team. We had a good crowd last night, just showing up last minute. Frog Army had some students there. We had some young kids sign autographs afterwards. So it was a nice little atmosphere to kind of warm up to. Tarleton State, that's a new rule too. Exhibition games. You can play and doesn't have to be a charity game, and it can be open. So we're going to look to do more of those. They paid us to open up their brand new arena at Tarleton State. They've got homecoming. They got a football game. They got concerts. It's going to be the biggest weekend of Tarleton State history.
I was going to say.
We're going to help them out by bringing a Big 12 team, which I'm sure they've never had at home there at Tarleton. So looking forward to it, and it'll be a great opportunity, and, it'll be sold out is what they're telling us. So 8,000 brand new arena. I mean, Tarleton's all in college athletics. And obviously you build an 8,000 seat arena in today's world. It shows you're all in hoops.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. When we talk about that competitiveness on the range of the competitors that you're going to see throughout your season, starting with Tarleton. But I talked with Mike Buddie earlier in the show about how in the Big 12, men's basketball is the most competitive conference, but you're seeing it in football too with these matchups. The Horned Frogs went on the road last weekend, dropped their first conference game, but they're playing their first home conference game tonight against Colorado as another D1 head coach. What do you think are the keys to getting this team riled up and just ready to play tonight?
Well, they're going to be ready. I saw them warming up actually.
Really?
We were in the had practice earlier this morning, so we kind of went through some film, did some of the things we wanted to improve on. And we're working out there, watching practice. Then afterwards, I saw them warming up in the indoor practice. They're ready. They're excited. I'm sure. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons coming off an L, coming off the last time we played Colorado out at here, as we know. So, hey, we got a good quarterback. We're going to have a great crowd tonight. We have a great coach. We're going to have great fans and energy tonight. So I think there's no need to worry about these guys being ready to go. And we're excited to be here and be a part of it. And I know all our players will be here. They've been, I just don't want to see them on the screen, on the video board like I did. I told them, please keep your shirts on this time. I recommend that. And so I won't make fun of them next week.
Yeah. See it in practice, an extra few laps.
Yeah. No, they need to keep the shirts on. I recommend it.
Well, thank you,
Brock
Coach.
especially.
Do you hear that, Brock, by the way? Keep your shirt on.
All right.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us. It's
Sounds
always
good.
a pleasure, and
Take
we're
care
excited
now.
for your season
All right,
as
so one
well.
here.
This has been your Frogs Today football pregame show live from the Moncrief Club in the south end zone of the Amon G. Carter Stadium. A huge thank you to everyone who joined me today, Athletic Director Mike Buddie, Head Coach of the men's basketball team Jamie Dixon, as well as Faith Lester. Be excited because after the game, we will have a post-game sound where we'll talk to head coach Sonny Dykes as well as some players about their performance tonight. We're going to post that for you guys Sunday morning so you have something to look forward to. But for now, it is a 6:30 kickoff right here in the Carter, blackout and first home conference matchup of the season. Morale is high and everyone's excited, so make sure to tune in to tonight's game. If you don't already, make sure you follow us on all of our social media handles, which are Frogs Today, to keep you updated with all TCU athletics. I'm your host, Jules Conti. Thank you guys for tuning in, and go Frogs.